Good morning, people. How are we doing? Welcome to another YouTube video. Well, I'm going to be showing you guys what I eat on a training day for 1,800 calories. Man is in the trenches, going to war. Hammer has been dropped. All of that good stuff. I'm going to show you exactly how I get through it and make sure that I'm still progressing in the training. I'm still losing body fat at a good pace. I'm like 2 pounds down this week. And I'm not absolutely ravenously hungry, but that is also part of the process. So let's get into the video. So we have got meal number one here, 35 grams of whey, 50 grams of oats, 100 grams of raspberries, and then 5 grams of dark chocolate. I split it between these two because I like mint. It tastes nice and it averages out at like 70% cocoa. So I'm happy with that because it's cool. So yeah, decent meal. Presentation is not anything too crazy by any means. I'm all giving you motion sickness now. But it's a good meal. It does the job, keeps me going for the day. The first thing I think it's important to say here is that 1,800 calories isn't something that everyone needs to do. Okay, this is my choice. I want to do a photo shoot, which means that I need to get pretty damn lean to do that. And how do you get pretty damn lean? Well, you don't eat much food and you do a fair bit of cardio. Although cardio at the moment isn't anything crazy, it's 30 minutes 4 times a week, so it's reasonable type of thing there. But you will need to push pretty hard if you want to get in good condition. There's this mystical bullshit thing going around of like, I got my client in shape eating 2,500 calories and no cardio. That was the one person. All of their other clients are doing fuck tons of cardio. All of their other clients are eating low food. There are some freaks out there that just seem to be able to eat a fuck ton of food and get in really good shape. And that's great for them. But they also then struggle elsewhere when it comes to, say, pushing up and building muscle mass because they're already pretty full on that caloric intake, say. Or they struggle to stick to it a little bit more because they feel like they've got all of this flexibility already and don't need to be that regimented with it. So there's swings and roundabouts everywhere. It's not like just because you're dieting on more food, you're a better human being or anything ridiculous like that. But if you want to get lean, you need to accept that you are going to have to put some work in. It's not just going to come easily. And what's this? This would be maybe 9-10 weeks of me dieting now, something like that, I would say. And I was 155.4 today. So that makes me 19.6 pounds down, which is a lot of body weight to lose in that time. So again, if you want to lose body weight quickly, you're going to have to accept that it's going to be a little bit harder. That's what she said. I'm going to give you the same weird, cool, groovy, whatever the fuck you want to call this intro, for meal number 3, which is, we have got some rice under there, although it is only 50 grams, which is poverty portions. But it is what it is. So we got rice, chicken mince. Chicken mince is the absolute go. If you're not having chicken mince and you're still having breast, what is wrong with you? It's literally cheaper, tastes better, and you get an even distribution with your rice and your veg. Literally can't lose. Literally can't lose. And then some pepper, carrot, courgette. That's my favourite veg combo at the moment. And because it's a training day, we've got beetroot for the pumps, pre-legs, and some pineapple to go with that as well. So very, very nice meal. Gives a bit of a boost before the training session. And I will sling a banana into this as well. Please, nobody attack me for that. Okay, it does go nicely. So meal number 2 is done and dusted, ready to go and train. Just got 1 more hour at the gym here, PT and all of that good stuff. I don't know what this hand signal is. And the main focus with these meals here, and obviously going into my training session, is to maintain as much performance as possible, be in 5 weeks out. At this point, by the time you guys are seeing this, it will probably be closer to 3. I'm not going to be progressing loads. Like, it's okay. I can take an extra partial of a rep. I can maybe squeeze out 1 more week to week, but especially maybe like side delts, isolations, I'm matching reps, or I haven't really regressed on anything, which is obviously a pretty good sign. I'm keeping my tissue. But it's very much, if the rep's there, I'll take it. If not, I'll try not to worry myself about it. But, you know, obviously it's one of those things that you do find a little bit annoying because I want to progress. I want to grow. And progressing what you're doing in the gym is a huge, huge part of that. So just trying to switch my mindset to, maintenance is progress is the main focus of what I'm doing here. And there's good days, there's bad days. I'm doing everything I can in terms of my meals, in terms of my recovery to get that out of it. Yes, I am in a different location because I have just remembered that I haven't asked you guys to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, any of that good stuff yet. This video, so if you are enjoying it thus far, if you are liking the channel, ring that notification bell. If you hate me and you hate my channel, please feel free to leave a hate comment down in the description. That is absolutely fine. You're just going to boost me up in the algorithm in the description, in the comment section. If you've got awful abs, one of the best things that you can do is train them nice and early in your session when you've got the most mental and physical energy to actually put into them, because a lot of people will either end up half-assing it or just skipping them entirely. And then they'll get to the end of their bulk, cut again, and wonder, where the fuck are my abs? Well, you haven't really trained them. That's probably where they are. The abs aren't going to be a ridiculously strong muscle. You're not going to be using hundreds of pounds for them, okay? In fact, some of my best sets that I've ever felt for abs ever has literally just been bodyweight stuff with this thing here, okay? And this is a game changer when it comes to training your abs because it matches up with that sort of natural curve that people have in their spine. So you can get a deep, deep stretch. And as we know, stretches are the most amazing thing ever for hypertrophy, and everyone's banging on about getting into the length and range. So if you don't have an ab mat, definitely grab yourself one of those and just improve the quality of your sets. What I want you to think about as you're going through that set. So what I want you to think about as you're going through your sets is really moving through the spine. Okay, it's not a hip exercise. We're not training hip flexors here. We want to really stretch out and then fold over at the torso, almost as if you're moving like every single vertebrae individually. And funnily enough, you're going to feel your abs better and then actually have some when it comes to your next diet phase. If you want to destroy your delts, do these two things the next time you are doing a lateral raise. Raise that cable height up so it's at the point where it's just below your hand. That means that we're not getting peak tension right at the top where we're weakest. It's going to be hardest about here in that middle of the range for the side delt where we are going to be the strongest. And then actually take it into that length and range where there's still going to be a lot of challenge, where a lot of machine lateral raises or dumbbell lateral raises aren't going to challenge you there because the weight just wants to go straight down, or you're going to hit yourself in the body if you try and do it on a machine. Do that, and I guarantee your delts will blow up. And if they don't, you can get a refund on this video. Oh wait, it was free. Okay, I guess just DM me the word delts and I'll send you a free guide. During the set, you'll see that I'm using this pillar to push into and stabilize myself, because at the end of the day, the weight wants to pull me across towards that. And if we can make an exercise as stable as possible, within reason, I probably don't need to be sitting down for this one. That's probably taking the piss a little bit too much, but just that extra bit of support can help a lot. And then all I need to do is rest a couple of seconds before going into the other side. So this side delt doesn't limit me stability wise on here. So like I was saying earlier, this is one of the exercises where I'm finding it much harder to progress now. Like, I might literally just take a partial 1 week and then be able to finish that whole rep the next week. Even though, as I was saying earlier, it drops off towards the short position, it's still pretty tough there. And we call that a congruent challenge, where it's a little bit easier across the body in the length position where we're a bit weaker. It's hardest in the middle sort of range for the side delt, where we've got the most capacity to produce force, and then it drops off towards the shortened position where your muscle is going to get weaker. First warm-up of RDLs here, nice and easy. I've just put on a plate aside here. This is less than half of what I'll be doing for the working set, so it's easy for me to pick up without doing any sort of previous leg warm-up, apart from just looking for 10-15 minutes. Nice and slow on the way down. Little pause at the bottom. And just popping my glutes back as far as I can do. So what was that? 6 reps, something like that there. I'll then do 3, something like that with 100 kilos and go fine, a little bit heavier, probably 120-ish for the final warm up. And I'll do 1 or 2 reps, depending upon how it's feeling. And the reason that I'm not doing that many reps is because you don't need to do loads to warm up, like, especially when I've been doing this exercise for years and I've practiced the skill of performing it. Like, it's fairly easy for me to just get used to it. It's just warming my body up. So a couple of reps is enough, and then it's not going to actually take away from my performance on that hot set. Because I only got 1 set on this exercise, so that's the only one that counts. If I bottle that, fucked. I built no muscle this entire session. I've cocked up and slightly misloaded the bar there, so I'm just going to do 1 more warm up, 1 more rep, and this is why you should always count the amount of load that you've actually got on the bar, because otherwise you're going to fuck it, and then you're not going to progress your set, and then you're going to be very upset with yourself for not building any muscle whatsoever, because it only counts if you progress. If you feel like your joints are getting mashed more and more every single week, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that you don't use these little plates here. When you use the 2.5 and 1.25 kilos, you're going to be able to keep that form intact whilst you progress in load, because the truth is, you're not getting 5 kilos stronger every single week. Like, it's just not happening. Otherwise, you'd already be Ronnie Coleman by now. And I think far more people could benefit from slowing down that load, and I think far more people could benefit from slowing down the pace that they increase their load and make sure that that technique can stay still. I think far more people could benefit from slowing down the rate in which they progress the load they're using and keep the technique constant, so you can compare a video from 2 months ago and one today and it looks identical, apart from the fact that you're 10 kilos stronger in total, not in 1 week, not a crazy progression like that, just match reps and progress load in the smallest amount you can. The straps just held true for that one. It almost failed me, hence why the bar is now on the floor. But they just about managed to hold through, so it was actually 8 reps and an eccentric, because there was no way that I could calf raise it back onto there with how far they've dropped. Time to unload this. If you're sick of having lousy legs, one of the best things that you can do in your leg extensions is recline the seat back so that you're in a more lengthened position for the rec firm at the hip. And this is the bit that nobody seems to be telling you about. Use a seatbelt, because that weight is going to want to lever you up in the shortened position of the rep, and then you're not going to feel so stable. So get one of these, strap in, and do a nice high repper so that your quads are absolutely toast. That is the worst part, where you are still stuck in it after you finish the set and your quads are like, fuck off, leave me alone. The best thing with the seatbelt isn't just that it holds you down, but also you can actively push up against into it. And honestly, when I do that, I've never felt anything quite like it from the quads, which is usually a pretty good sign. Oh, that hurts like a motherfucker. Did you know there's an easy way to fix your lower back around and underneath you on a leg press? The issue here is that you're probably running out of hip range And that's then got to come from somewhere. So your lower back is going to curve under because you're saying, right, I want to go deeper. That's what he said. And all you need to do is get a block like this and pop that underneath you. That means that instead of starting, say, here, your hip's starting a little bit further back so you don't run into that end hip range so quickly. This exercise is beyond disgusting. Why I put myself through this every single week is unbeknownst to me. Although I want big legs. That's probably why. No! If you're feeling incredibly unstable and you see your hamstring curls like you're being pulled forward, one of the best things you can do is get yourself a seatbelt. And this is the key bit. Set it up so it's pulling you backwards in the seat. It's not coming down into your lap. You've already got this here to stop you being launched upwards. So you want to set it nice and tight so you can barely move whatsoever, so that load then can't pull you forward in a short position. And then all you need to do from there is pull this down so it keeps you locked in and push into here as you go through the reps. That's going to keep you nice and stable. You're going to be able to get humongous hamstrings and not be able to walk afterwards, which is good in the gym after you've trained legs and also in the bed. Oh. If you've been getting absolutely awful reviews after your Tinder dates, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that you are hip thrusting terribly. There's two big mistakes that I see people making here. The first one is allowing that shin and your knee to drift backwards as you go through the rep. Then you're getting loads of quad sensation. Last time I checked, that was not the goal of the exercise. And the other one is skipping out on those end ranges. So that really short part of the range of motion where you get a stupid sensation through your glutes and connect with them really, really well. And if they're a shit body part, being able to feel it's quite nice. Then the same thing goes for that very bottom stretch position, because this is one of the few exercises where your glutes are the only thing helping you out of that deep, deep hip flexion. So it makes sense to go there, especially considering everything we know about the length and range and hypertrophy. And if you are still struggling to grow your legs and your glutes, DM me the word lower body. That's 2 words, Luke. And I'll send you a free growth guide. This was an awful decision. Oh my God. I should have just taken my shoes off. Definitely would have saved me time at this point. But oh well, we've committed. All right, time for a cheeky voiceover because obviously I couldn't really recorded this at the time while I was posing. So sitting at about 20 pounds down by the time of filming this, and you guys watching this, I'll be a little bit more. That doesn't make any sense, Luke. By the time you're watching this, I'll be a little bit more, but filming I was about 20 pounds down. That was a roundabout long way of saying it, and I'm just delaying at this point, but we're going with it. So very, very happy with how the physique is progressing. My upper body is getting much, much leaner. Last couple of weeks, the midsection and lower back have been coming in, which is very nice. Small little Christmas tree from me there, which is obviously ideal to have some detail to my physique. Who's going to complain about that? Legs are starting to come in now, and then plan of action for the next couple of weeks or next week. By the time you're filming this, they'll already have been shaved. Is to shave my legs and see what definition we are really working with, which is going to be incredibly sad and incredibly emasculating. I've worked very, very hard to grow the minimum amount of hair that I have at the moment, but it's time to get ready or get rid of it all. boss man's orders. Right, so we have got meal number 3 for the day here. Water is going in the cereal. It is better than milk, and nobody can tell me otherwise. So we've got 65 grams of cereal, 60 grams of whey, and 100 grams of blueberries. The ratios of this are getting a little ridiculous now. We are getting some serious sun rays in while I'm eating this meal, and then it's time to head back to the gym for a couple of PTs, which will be fun. Long day for me, but that's all good. We have got the Train by JP. I think it's caramel chocolate whey here, and this one is like absolutely supreme. I think it's almost as good as the triple chocolate, which is very good going there. So just some nice, quick digesting carbs here to replenish my glycogen stores after a very intense, challenging leg day. This is now stuck to the spoon. I guess it does get a little bit clumpy when you mix it with water, but don't tell the haters that. Do not tell the haters that. So I'm going to finish this now and head off. So meal 4, final meal of the day is beef mince, 200 grams of potato, 200 grams of beef mince there. That's raw weight for both of them because it is more accurate. We've got 40 grams of avocado and then the same veg combo as earlier. And then I'm basically just self-harming myself with that peri-peri sauce because that's how we roll. That is the full day of eating done and dusted. I have just got more potatoes rocking over there. Rocking, that's a weird way to describe it. Cooking, probably, is what it is. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed that. If you have, make sure to like, share, subscribe. If not, I'll use one of these bad boys on you because I would not be very happy about that. Now, I'm absolutely ravenous, so I'm going to go and tuck into my meal. And then I have got the pleasure of sorting out the rest of this meal prep as well. So thanks for watching. In a bit.